There's a quiet bravery in you that surprises me every time, and it's something I can't help but admire. In the moments I thought I understood you, you surprised me with a bravery I couldn't have imagined. Your strength isn't always loud, but when it rises, it's the kind of courage that leaves a lasting impression. What you did wasn't about fighting the world. It was about having the strength to stand quietly and face whatever came your way. You taught me that bravery doesn't always have to be an outward display. It can be the quiet, determined strength you carry inside. What I saw in you was a kind of bravery that showed me strength isn't just in what we do, but in how we show up. The way you showed bravery made me see that real strength is quiet, constant, and unassuming. I've never seen bravery like the kind you carry with you, subtle, yet undeniably powerful. When you acted with courage, it wasn't for anyone but yourself, and that's what made it so beautifully unexpected. I thought I knew what courage looked like, but you showed me a version that took me by surprise in the best way. What you did wasn't just brave, it was a quiet revolution in the way I understand strength. Bravery doesn't always need a stage or an audience. Sometimes it's enough to simply be there, quietly and unwaveringly. Your bravery is the kind that doesn't need to be announced. It just appears when it's most needed. In your courage, I see a quiet power that surprises me again and again, and I find myself in awe of your strength. You showed me a bravery I didn't know existed, and in doing so, you changed the way I see strength. Your bravery isn't something that demands to be seen. It's a quiet force that, when it does show up, it takes me completely by surprise. What you did wasn't just an act of bravery. It was a silent declaration of strength that took me completely by surprise. The way you handled the unthinkable was a revelation. It showed me that true bravery is often found in the moments we least expect. Your bravery wasn't a loud proclamation, but it was the kind of quiet strength that filled every room you entered. In the stillness of your courage, I saw the kind of bravery that spoke volumes without saying a word. You have a courage in you that defies all expectations, quietly reshaping everything I thought I understood about strength. When you showed up in the face of adversity, I realized that your bravery wasn't something I could have predicted. It was something I needed to witness. In the softest moments, your bravery became the loudest sound I've ever heard, leaving me stunned and deeply moved. I couldn't have imagined the depth of bravery you carried with you until I saw it in action, completely surprising me with its quiet power. There's a kind of bravery in you that doesn't demand recognition. It simply exists, quietly but unwavering. What you did showed me that true courage isn't just about standing tall in the spotlight. Sometimes it's about standing strong in the silence. Your bravery was a quiet whisper that grew louder than any shout, and it surprised me in the most profound way. When life threw its hardest challenges your way, you met them with a kind of bravery that completely redefined my understanding of strength. I didn't expect your bravery to look the way it did, quiet, determined, and unshakable. But now I see it's the most powerful kind. You showed me that bravery isn't about how loud you are, but about how steady you remain when everything around you falls apart. The courage you displayed was unlike anything I expected, and it took me by surprise in the best way possible. What you did wasn't just brave, it was a testament to the quiet strength that lies within us all when we choose to rise above fear. You surprised me not with your actions, but with the quiet bravery that carried you through when others would have fallen. The way you approached your struggles made me realize that bravery is often most powerful when it's unspoken. What I saw in you wasn't just a moment of bravery, it was a constant strength that quietly defied every obstacle that came your way. I never expected the kind of bravery you possess, gentle, steady, and unwavering, but it's the very definition of strength. You taught me that bravery isn't just about fighting battles. It's about showing up when you're afraid and still moving forward. In your actions, I saw a bravery that was so quiet, yet so powerful, it changed the way I view courage. I never thought I'd see someone approach fear with such calm, but your bravery turned my understanding of strength upside down. You demonstrated a kind of bravery that left me speechless, a quiet force that didn't need to shout to be heard. Your courage didn't come in grand gestures. It came in the small, steady steps you took when no one was watching. I saw a courage in you that I never expected, a kind of bravery that made me rethink everything I thought I knew about strength. In the moment I thought I had it all figured out, you showed me a kind of bravery I couldn't even dream of. Your bravery wasn't loud or obvious, but when I saw it, it took me by surprise in the most profound way. The kind of bravery you displayed was quiet but fierce, and it moved me in a way that words can barely describe. What I saw in you was the kind of bravery that grows quietly in the shadows and has everyone by surprise. In your silent strength, I found the kind of courage that left me breathless and deeply moved. You didn't ask for attention, but your bravery demanded it, not with force, but with a quiet grace. When you stood tall in the face of the unknown, I realized there's a depth of bravery in you that takes my breath away. I saw a bravery in you that was so profound, it made me reconsider what it really means to be strong. What you did wasn't just brave, it was a testament to everything I thought I knew about courage. The way you handled what came your way left me in awe of your bravery, a kind I never expected. It was a kind of bravery that caught me off guard, not because it was sudden, but because it was so beautifully understated. The bravery in you wasn't about loud declarations. It was the quiet strength that came when you needed it the most. I never imagined your bravery would shine through in the way it did. It was more beautiful than I ever anticipated. In the face of fear, you showed a courage that made my own doubts fade into the background. Your bravery surprised me, not because you were afraid, but because you showed up despite the fear. When I thought you couldn't possibly surprise me anymore, you proved me wrong with your unwavering bravery. You have a bravery that's not always seen, but when it shines, it's impossible to ignore. Your courage is a quiet force, unassuming but powerful, and it's left me questioning the very meaning of strength. What I saw in you wasn't just bravery, it was the kind of strength that is born in the heart and rises quietly. Your bravery is a reminder that strength doesn't always have to be loud to be powerful. I thought I knew what bravery was, but when I saw you, I realized it's so much more than I could have imagined. The kind of bravery you carry with you isn't the kind that announces itself. It simply shows up when it's needed. I never thought I'd see someone show the kind of bravery you did, but now I know it's something much deeper than just a moment of action. What you did took me completely by surprise, but it also left me with a new understanding of what real courage is. You surprised me with your bravery, and in doing so, you taught me what it means to be truly strong. I saw a side of you that I didn't expect, a bravery that was quiet yet undeniably powerful. Your bravery is a soft force that pushes through everything, never asking for attention, but always deserving it. I wasn't ready for the way your bravery would change me, but I'm forever grateful for the lesson it taught. It's not always the loudest acts that are the bravest. Sometimes it's the quiet ones that leave the biggest impact. The way you handled your fears showed me what real bravery is: calm, composed, and completely unexpected. In the moments I thought I had figured everything out, you surprised me with the kind of courage that only comes from deep within. Bravery isn't always about what you see on the surface. It's what lies beneath the calm exterior that truly shocks. What you showed me wasn't just a moment of bravery, it was a life of quiet strength I had never noticed before. I thought bravery was about making big gestures, but you taught me that it's often the small, quiet actions that mean the most. Your bravery surprised me because it wasn't a single moment, it was a constant, quiet force that never wavered. When you face the unknown with grace, the bravery that you show doesn't just surprise, it inspires. I never thought I'd see someone like you face such challenges with such grace, but your bravery is something that can't be ignored. In every unexpected moment, I saw you display a kind of bravery that made me reconsider everything I thought I knew. You showed me that bravery doesn't have to look like I thought it did. It's not always loud, and it's not always noticed, but it's always there. Your courage is the kind that's rare, the kind that takes you by surprise because it doesn't scream for attention, it simply exists. You're a reminder that bravery isn't about being fearless. It's about being brave, even in the presence of fear. In the middle of chaos, you stood still and showed a kind of bravery that spoke louder than any words could. Your bravery isn't always obvious, but when it shows up, it takes my breath away in ways I didn't expect.